Welcome to BizSugar Live. Today we are finding out how to establish trust and increase sales. And in this fast-moving presentation, online business coach Pamela Wilson shares 7 secrets to building trust and closing sales. These are highly effective and easy to implement. Pamela coaches people in mid-career to build profitable online businesses. She's an online educator, author, keynote speaker, founder of PamelaWilson.com. And she's the author of 3 books and the creator and head coach of The Offer Accelerator and The Big Lead. So let's hear from Pamela now.
Thank you so much, Gail. I am thrilled to be here. Thank you to everyone who is attending today. We're an intimate group, and I do have some questions for you. So when I ask a question, answer in chat. I am counting on you. I'm going to switch over to my slides because I am going to start with a single question that's super easy to answer. What I would love to know is, are you selling something online right now? And I'm going to make this very easy for you. If you're here live, you can just say Y for yes or N for no in chat. Just let me know if you're selling something online right now. That's super helpful to know how you're going to be using this information. I'm excited to bring it to you because I'm going to show you why you may have been struggling to sell things up until now. If you found it difficult, I've got some information that should help, and it has to do with the language you use and the way you present your information online. It can make a huge difference to how much you sell and how much trust you build with the people you're selling to. So my goal in this presentation is to help 2 kinds of people, people who want to sell something online, who maybe aren't selling something online yet, but want to sell something online. And if that's you, I'm going to show you the essential elements for making that online sale and building trust. And I'm also presenting to people who have a process for selling things online, who are already selling things online, and who want to increase those sales by using some simple tweaks that they can do to their language, to the way they're presenting their offer online, that should help to boost the result that they get. So if you are here to make more sales online, I want to welcome you to 7 secrets to making more online sales. And this is me. My name is Pamela Wilson. My website is PamelaWilson.com. And what you'll see at the bottom is my YouTube channel. And I want to ask you, if you do learn something from this presentation, I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. I release videos every single week about how to grow your online business. And if you learn something, just subscribe to my channel. That would be a really great way to thank me. So the big change that we are going to be talking about today is how you can use specificity and how that can help to build trust and help you make more sales. And as Gail said, my name is Pamela Wilson. And the reason let me show you this again. I'm holding an X-Acto knife because we're talking about specificity, and X-Acto knives are a very detailed, specific way to cut something out and put something together. And the reason I have that in my hand is that my original business, which I started in 1992, was as a graphic designer. So I used to have an X-Acto knife on my desk next to me at all times. And I did that for about 20 years. But then in 2010, I started my online business, which is PamelaWilson.com. And as I mentioned, I coach people in mid-career to build profitable online businesses. I've written 3 books, but the 2 most popular ones are the ones you see on the screen now. They're the Master Content series, Master Content Marketing and Master Content Strategy. I am a keynote speaker, and I am also the former Executive Vice President of Educational Content at Copyblogger. And as I said, this is what I do now. I coach people who are in mid-career to build profitable online businesses. And the big thing that I want you to remember, the big thing I hope you take away if you remember nothing else, is that if you want to sell more online, you need to get specific. And I want to show you exactly how you can get specific in a way that will make a difference to your sales. And I mentioned that I coach people in mid-career, and part of that is just that, we all sort of came up in the offline business world. We have a lot of experience of sales, but our experience of sales is very different, because sales, at the time that all of us came into the business world, sales was something that happened between people. It was a personal experience. Either you were in person, IRL, in real life, with a person directly in front of you, or maybe you talked to the salesperson on the telephone. But either way, you felt like you knew that person in some way. You had a connection with them. And then when we come online, of course, we don't have that personal connection to the people that we're selling to. And no matter what age you are, whether you're used to the offline sales like this that were more personal, or you have come up in the world in the online era when we don't have as much personal connection, you may struggle to somehow make this connection so that you can make more sales. I want to know, if you are here and you did come up in the offline business world, just say me in the chat. I would love to know in the comments. Just let me know. For those of us who are from that offline business world, though, what I want to tell you is I struggled with this too. When I started my online business in 2010, so 12 years ago now, I struggled to make this connection with people, to figure out how to make a connection and build trust, even though I wasn't there personally and meeting with people personally. And by the way, shout out to anyone who recognizes what this plug is, because if you recognize this plug, you're in my age group. So shout out to you. But what I discovered when I was going through this process of trying to figure out how to make a connection with people in the online space, people I was never going to meet in person, is I studied all the things that were out there being taught, how to write better headlines and better marketing copy, and how to sort of present my marketing messages so that they were palatable to the people I was making a sale to. And all of that worked to a point. But I think partly because of the pandemic and the upheaval that's happening in our world right now, there's actually a lot of distrust. And as business owners and marketers, we sort of have a responsibility to respond to the environment as it is now. And what I found is the more specific I became in my marketing, I just noticed a huge change in the way people felt connected to me and the number of sales that I was able to make. Customers and prospects told me that they trusted me implicitly. And even though we had never met, in many cases, people said they felt like they knew me. And I ended up being able to charge much higher amounts for my services and products because of that connection. And it really all started with this specificity. And that's why I want to talk about that topic today, because getting specific makes a huge difference. Specificity sells. And I want to show you 7 areas where you can get more specific in the way you're communicating, and it should help you to sell more than what you're selling now. And to demonstrate this, I am going to use a sales page, kind of a traditional online sales page. We've all seen them, but what I'm going to do is break it down into parts so you can see how getting specific in all of these parts will help you to sell more. And for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to break the sales process into 3 parts. And the 3 parts are the invite, the show and tell, and the sale. And we're going to dive into each one. I'm going to show you what I mean by each one. But if you look at a sales page, most sales pages have these elements. They may not have been called this before, but these elements are present on the sales page. So it's the invite, show and tell, and the sale. So let's see how those all go together. In the invite section, we start with a headline at the top of the page. And this headline needs to focus on the main benefit of the offer that you are trying to sell. Now, if you're not doing this on a sales page, maybe you are sending an email and making a sale through an email. And in that case, your headline might actually be the subject line of the email. Or maybe it's a social media post. You're going to sell something using an organic social media post. Well, your headline on that social media post might be the very first line of your post, the one that you see before you click that read more link, right? If it is a sales video, your headline for the sales video might be the first sentence that you say in that sales video. And if it's a personal conversation, like a sales call that you're having with someone, your headline for that sales call might be the opening to that sales conversation. But any way you want to look at it, in this case, we're looking at it on a sales page, but no matter where the sale is happening, that opening volley where you start the sales conversation is super important. And the more specific you can make it, the more effective it will be. And I have a very simple formula. We're going to explore this throughout the presentation, but I'm going to introduce it to you here. And it's the idea of benefit minus cost. I'm working on a video about sales page headlines that's going to be on my YouTube channel next week. So I've got it on my mind, and I studied sales page headlines in order to create this video. And I sort of boiled down all the advice and all the formulas and all the templates that I found into this one headline formula that you can use for almost anything. And it's basically the main benefit of what you're selling minus the cost. And by cost, I mean how much money it costs, how much time it will take to get a result, or how much effort it will take to get that result. So you state the benefit and you subtract the cost. So you talk about the benefit in 30 days or less, or what you'll be able to do. I have an example later in this presentation about a cake decorating class. So, learn to decorate beautiful custom cakes in just 4 weeks. So that's a way of saying the benefit of what you're selling, which is a cake decorating class, minus the time that you spend to learn and get the result. So this is your formula. If you remember nothing else about how to write sales page headlines or how to write that opening volley for the sales conversation, just remember this super quick formula: benefit minus cost. In the next section of the invite part of the sales process, we want to sort of describe the before and after states. So the before state is where the person is right now. It's maybe they're experiencing challenges, and that's why they're having this sales conversation, or they're looking at a sales page because they're experiencing some kind of state that they're not happy about at the moment. So we want to paint a picture of their current situation, but of course we need to do this with a lot of empathy. We have all read sales copy that says, are you struggling and feeling overwhelmed and frustrated and all of these things that just make us, by the time you finish it, you feel kind of depressed, right? So we don't want to do that. We don't want to depress people while they're reading our sales copy. We want to show that we understand how difficult it is right now and write copy that sounds more empathetic and isn't about just making them feel terrible about their current situation. So paint a picture of their current pain with empathy. That's the way I state that. And then to follow that up, you want to describe a better future. Some people, copywriters often call this future casting. It's where instead of forecasting, you're future casting. It's where you're sort of describing a future where they don't have the current challenge that they have. And in this part, specificity is so important because the more specific you can make your language and your descriptions, the more people will realize, wow, this person really gets me. They really understand what I'm going through. And because they understand my problem so well, they're going to be able to solve it. There's a famous copywriter, the name is not coming to mind right now, but a famous copywriter basically said, if you're the person who best describes the problem, you are the person that they will come to for the solution. So describing the problem and the future state where they don't have that problem with a lot of specific language will help you to make more sales. I want to know if that makes sense. So let me know in chat or in the question box if that's making sense. If you have a question about anything, I'm kind of moving quickly. So just let me know if that's making sense. Let's move on to the next section, which is show and tell. And this is where we're going to bring people in and show them the solution. And we're going to do this with images. It's really a great place to start showing how you can solve the problem. And the way we do this is we show our product or we show our service. So in the case of a tangible product, an actual physical product, obviously you want to have a really clear photo of the product. For a digital product, you want to have a mock-up of the digital product. This is, Gail mentioned my Offer Accelerator program at the beginning. It is a digital course. It's kind of a hybrid program, so I never know what to call it. It's a course, but it has coaching and it has feedback, but it all happens on a digital platform. So the way you represent that is you show your offer on a digital platform using a mock-up. There are mock-up generators. You can just Google mock-up generator. There are a lot of free mock-up generators that you can use to create this kind of image. And if you have things like, my course has downloadable and printable materials, you can display that like they're on a piece of paper. That makes it all feel a lot more tangible. Then if you have a service, and I talked about, our cake decorating class, if you have a service, the way that you can depict that service, and this is very important, you don't want to show the service being done. You don't want to show the work. What you want to show is the end result of the service. So for example, the service is a cake decorating class, right? It's delivered live, it's cake decorating. The end result is that the person will know how to decorate cakes. So you don't want to show them going to the grocery store at 11 p.m. buying confectioner's sugar or, beating the sugar and the butter together to make the icing. What you want to show is the end result, the final cake, all decorated, all beautiful. So when you're depicting your solution, show the end result specifically again. All right. Then we move on to explaining the solution with words. And what we're going to do is talk about features and benefits. And I want to tell you how those work. Features and benefits are two different things, and people often get those mixed up. So let's see if we can differentiate them for you once and for all. So let's go back to I'm hoping I'm making you nice and hungry with this. Let's go back to our cake decorating class, and let's say that one of the features of this cake decorating class is they give you these practice videos. So you sign up for the class, and as part of the class, you get practice videos that are digital and they're delivered to your inbox. So you get practice videos. That's a feature of the class. You're learning cake decorating, and one of the features of this class is these practice videos. Well, what do you get from those practice videos? The practice videos themselves are a feature, but we need to also bring it home with a benefit. And the benefit in this case is that you're able to practice at home. So how do you communicate that? And how do you draw out that benefit? Because typically when you're writing this kind of thing, the first thing you think of is the feature. But in order to draw out the benefit, I have this kind of magic 3-word phrase, and it is so you can. And here it is. So practice videos so you can build your skills at home. So anytime you think about a feature and you realize, okay, but Pamela said I need to remember to state the benefit. In order to draw out that benefit, just add the phrase, so you can, and then fill in the blank after that. This feature so you can do what, or have what, or experience what. And that will help you to draw out the benefit and include both features and benefits on your sales page or in your sales emails or in any sales conversation. The next thing, let's see, is to share customer testimonials. So it's very important to bring in the voice of your customer to this sales conversation. So it's not just you talking about how amazing your offer is, but you have happy customers who are adding their voices to the sales conversation and helping to convince whoever it is who's considering buying from you. And again, you want to make these really specific. So the more specific your testimonials, the better they'll work. So for example, you don't want someone to say, oh yeah, BizSugar webinars are amazing. I mean, that's great. And I'm sure Gail would be very happy to hear BizSugar webinars are amazing. But you want something even more specific that talks about both internal and external changes. So I have an example of this from our cake decorating class. And let's say somebody has taken the cake decorating class and they give a testimonial. And if you look closely, this testimonial has both an internal change that they experienced and an external change. The testimonial says, this class gave me so much confidence, I started a business selling custom cakes. So the internal change for this person was, I gained confidence. Internally, something changed in me. And the external change was, I started a business. So that's what we're looking for, is testimonials that talk about how the person changed internally and then how their external life changed. And that kind of testimonial is very, very convincing. Then we go in for the sale. We've done the invitation and we've done the show and tell, and now we're ready to make the sale. So what does that look like in a sales conversation or on a sales page? Well, first of all, we need to show the pricing options. We need to show people how they can pay for the thing that we're selling. On a digital product, that's often sales, like a sales table. You can see the different pricing options and all of that. But if we're talking about how to make this very specific, the thing you need to add is not just the price, but also why they should buy now, why they should make a decision to buy right now. And this is so important because I don't know about you all, but there's so many distractions online right now. There's a lot of digital drama happening online. And I think if we can help people to make a decision and pay attention long enough to do the hard work of making a decision, that is going to really help. So specific copy will help. But when it comes to the actual sale, giving people some kind of a deadline or creating some kind of urgency around why they should decide now can really help them to, like I said, do that work of making a decision to buy. And this means adding some language like the sale ends on this date, very specifically on this date at this time, for example, or the enrollment closes on Friday at midnight Eastern, something like that. Or if you're offering a service, or let's say our cake decorating class, you might say there are 2 spots open. So that is very specific information that will help people say, okay, I'm going to do this and I need to move and make a decision because time is running out, spots are running out, something like that. Then we want to provide some kind of, this is like a bonus tip, we want to provide some kind of guarantee. And the guarantee is going to really help people to feel more confident about spending money online. And again, it's just that way of building trust, because this is not a personal interaction. And we want to make sure that people feel confident investing in our offer. So not all offers are able to do this. Some people offer, let's say, coaching. Coaching is a hard one to guarantee because you're giving people the time, and once you've given them that time, you can't get it back, right? But almost everything else can have some kind of guarantee. And this is another opportunity to be really specific with your copy and the information that you share, because the more specific, the more you'll build trust and the more people will respond to what you're selling online. So let's see an example of that with our favorite example here, the cake decorating class. What they've done here for this cake decorating class is they have given a very specific guarantee that says, if we don't deliver X, we will give you Y. So in this case, the guarantee is you will master our 5 core decorating skills, or we'll give you 2 sessions free. So you can see it's a very specific guarantee. And to take it up to the next level, you can actually make up a name for your guarantee. So in this case, they called it the Cake Joy Guarantee. And that really makes it their own. It's a guarantee that only they can give, and it's directly related to what they're selling. They're selling a course on cake decorating. They're calling it the Cake Joy Guarantee. And the guarantee is you'll master our 5 core decorating skills, or we'll give you 2 sessions free. So super specific, builds a lot of trust. I want to ask if there are any questions, and Gail, I know you may have a couple of things to chat about. I did want to let you know I have a free online business assessment. So if you're watching this and you want to check out the assessment, it's right on the homepage of my website, PamelaWilson.com. And again, if you learned something from what we just went through, I would love to see you on YouTube. You can just search for Pamela Wilson Coach. There's another Pamela Wilson on there who looks nothing like me and does not do anything like what I do on YouTube. So I'm an online coach, so you'll be able to find me. Just look for Pamela Wilson Coach. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be an awesome way that you could thank me if you learned something from today. And I am going to switch back to my camera. And Gail, do you have any questions that have come up or anything you want to chat about? I see some yeses. So I see some people who have online offers. So that's wonderful.
So do you have somewhere an overview type thing, something that people could access that covers the points that you made today?
I do actually. Do you want me to send you a link? I have a blog post on my website, and I have a video on my YouTube channel, actually.
Yes,
because I've talked about these elements in lots of places, and one of the reasons I want to present this to your audience is that every time I talk about it, people are like, I've never seen it so simple. And so, yeah, I can send you a link. And if people want to go to my YouTube channel, I'm actually developing a whole series of videos about sales pages. So right now, there's a video about how to write the copy for a sales page that goes over these elements. And there's a second video about how to design a sales page. So they should be able to find that on the YouTube channel if they like video. But if they like to read, they can look for a blog post on my website, and I'll send you that link. I'll be happy to do that.
If you could give me those 2 links, I can add them to the blog post.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise, we need to take notes. What really jumped out at me is show the finished thing, the final thing, because I have a tendency to want to show the how-to part.
Yes,
that's
so common.
Because they don't want to have to, or they wouldn't be trying to hire someone to do it, right?
Well, and one way to think about that, Gail, one way to think about that is, you know, when you talk about the how-to or how something is going to be accomplished, you're basically talking about the work that it's going to take to get the result. And when you're trying to sell something, people are actually buying the result that they're going to get. They're not signing up because they're going to have to do all that work, right? I mean, they will have to do the work, but you want to get them excited about the result, and then they'll want to do the work. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I meant. That jumped out at me because, you know, I'm thinking that I would want to maybe use stuff in there that I shouldn't use in there. Right. So that jumped out at me. That's why I asked if there was a place where all this was already written up or in a video. And so we'll add those to the blog post, and that way everyone can access them.
Yeah, I'd be happy to add that.
Super.
Awesome. Any other questions?
So Kareem was here. Are you still here, Kareem? Do you have any questions? No, you don't? Ah, he said he doesn't have any questions. He kind of got
because we were crystal clear. That's what I always like to think anyway. If people don't have questions, we covered everything and we covered it well. So high five, Gail.
Right, super.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. I hope to see anyone watching over on the YouTube channel. There's lots of good stuff there. And I will send those links to you so you can add them.
Okay, so while I have you, I know that you published 3 books. Are they, where would people find your books if they were interested in
Yes, actually, it looks like our video is reversed. So they're going to have to read backwards. But those are the 2 books. They're the Master Content Series, and you can get them on Amazon, anywhere books are sold, basically.
Okay, so you basically sell them to booksellers. You don't sell them on your own site or anywhere?
No, any bookseller, and I did do audiobooks for both of them, so if people want to listen to them, they can definitely do that as well. And they're available on Kindle, all the usual suspects for places to get books.
Okay, super. All right, so today's video, once it's processed, will be put into the blog post so that everyone can get back to it and share it with other people. And I want to invite everyone to come to our future webinars. We have them on the 2nd and the 4th Wednesday of every month at noon Central. And you can find all the replays. And we have some awesome replays on the blog at blog.bizsugar.com/webinars. There's a tab right at the top. You can just click on webinars and you can go to each individual post and see the replay videos. And I'm telling you that because we have some you might want to see, like some of the SEO related ones might be of interest to you.
Nice.
Given what you do.
Cool.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.